All right. Probably start. I don't have much really to talk about today. I have one topic I put down, which is just firewall management. And so basically, it came up again because there was a tracker um, saying we should maybe just remove I forgot what the flag is called. There's a bootstrap flag about whether we should do firewall configuration or not. Um, and the tracker was saying we just remove it because it doesn't actually do anything anymore. We basically removed all of our firewall handling stuff. At some point, I think we were going to refactor it, and then it never really happened. And, and so I guess the topic really here was just what do you want to do with that? Should we go back to trying to manage the firewall and making sure we have certain open ports during Bootstrap and all that, or do we want to sort of leave it as it is and just not really do much with it? Just remove that flag. Um, I don't remember the sort of history behind it. Maybe got removed like right after I got here, basically. Um, I don't know. I don't know if anyone has any original or initial thoughts on that. Go to try to find this tracker.
Hello.
Hi. We were just talking about the firewall topic. Hey, Rita, do you have the link to that tracker about removing the flag?
Mm, yeah. Do you have the link? In for it right now.
I think I found it actually.
Check. That's yeah. I have this one. Basically, they are claiming that we have the flag, but the code that manages to use it, it's not there anymore.
Yeah. So I was asking, I guess the topic was just if we actually want to go back to trying to do the firewall management or not. Um, I assume there was a reason we got rid of it, and it just happened so long ago. See that commit that tracker links? It's what is it? Pull request from
It seems
July 2020.
we use it to have code to handle this.
What?
Seems like we use it to have code to handle the firewall. But I'm not, I'm not sure if this code is active.
Yeah, we have a firewall class that has some functions in it for it, but we don't really use it. Hey, yeah, the code that got added in that commit that was referenced in the tracker,
Yeah.
it turns it into an actual class. That was part of the work. It was just refactoring it. Um, then I think the actual calls that um, open the ports and everything, I think they are removed. So that flag we have to like, oh, we should manage it or not, it's actually a thing anymore.
Yeah.
This question
Is
was just
this
whether we.
functionality something useful for customers or for upstream community?
I had somebody downstream asking about it once, or recently, whether we're doing it or not. I don't know if it was a huge ask. We do document like which ports should be open and everything. Like there's some standard Ceph ones that you're supposed to have. Um, I guess the question is whether we want to try to open them ourselves and make sure it works. But I don't have a super strong opinion on it. So honestly, if somebody felt super strongly, I would just leave it for now and maybe remove the flag. Or maybe we just leave the flag in. I don't know.
Could you hide it from the help? Just kind of mark it as deprecated, hide it from the help, so people don't see it as an attractive nuisance, but won't break old code that might have it in it.
I don't know. I have to check with
Can
Arc first.
we can hide it from the help?
I mean, the other thing is you could remove it, but in case that breaks, someone old
Yeah,
start.
some script. Yeah, exactly. I like John's idea to just keep it and hide it from the help, so we don't break any old script or using this flag. Meanwhile, we take some decision if we want to implement.
Yeah, personally, I'm probably disinclined to add the support back based on what you said. If you see increased demand from people saying, "Oh well, Ceph ADM, Ceph orchestration kind of owns the box anyway. Why don't you own the firewall too?"
Mhm.
But otherwise, if there's an but the last time I tried to do any firewall management stuff, it's kind of a pain because you don't get to own everything. So it's a little bit like, oh, I also want, my HTTP port bound to Apache, and I want this other port with blah blah blah. So I think that
Yes.
unless there's a user demand that justifies the complexity, I would say skip it for now.
All right. So is our action just basically just to hide the flag from help? We just leave it.
Yeah, that's what I would do personally.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a good approach.
Good. Sounds good. Let me put that in the back.
Yeah, I don't know if argparse supports it out of the box. I'm trying to skim the page, but of course, argparse.html on the Python docs is super long. So yeah, if it's not out of the box, we can look into other things, but you can always do like a customized help callback or something.
I I don't know in which use case you mean flag. It seems like if you're managing your own firewall from outside, then you will not open the ports. Does this make sense? I mean, if you want to deploy services, then you have to make sure that you can open the ports, otherwise you will not be able to deploy them.
Yeah, I mean, this would just be like, I guess, technically a convenience thing for anyone who had the ports closed but was okay with them opening.
Mm-hmm.
We would do it for them.
So is this Pierre guy like a community member? I only see he's logged one tracker here. So maybe this is important to him.
That the flag gets removed.
No, that we maintain the flag, but that functionality actually works because that's the way I read the tracker description.
So you mean originally it was added because only one person asked for it?
Well, originally it was added, I believe, because certain systems, maybe like say Ubuntu or maybe some Debian system doesn't have firewall D
Oh, okay.
and so there may be a legitimate reason to skip the firewall. But yeah, there are edge cases for a standard CentOS or other type system.
Yeah, because our natural behavior right now is actually just basically it's like the flag is always set, and we just always skip firewall. We don't have anything for it.
So is the default true?
Well, the flag itself is I think default, but I don't think we use it. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we actually do any firewall stuff, so it's almost like it's always true, no matter what you do. I think the flag has any effect.
Oh, so we're always skipping ports management.
I don't think we do too much for it. That's what actually the question was. Do we want to bring that back? And I think we're saying
Because I think the way I read this PR from Sebastian, we're just missing like a simple test on that flag. Just if skip firewall return, I think is the only thing that was omitted. So maybe that might be just as easy to fix as omitting or hiding the argument.
Yeah, I just checked. We never actually make use of that flag anywhere. It's just verified that.
Yeah, but it was certainly removed by that PR. This PR identified.
Hey, if we have been living without it like for so long, and this guy is not asking to remove it because something has been broken, he's just asking because he saw that the code is not there anymore. We can just go and remove it.
Yeah, I mean, alternatively, you can literally just summarize this discussion in that tracker, give him 2 weeks to reply, and then if there's no reply, say, okay, it's safe to remove or hide. How does that strike you?
And only bring this functionality back if somebody asks for it, either from downstream or if there are a lot of people from upstream asking for it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, I'm just going through real quick and checking where we use update firewall. That's the function that you skip. All that this got changed in. But it looks like it's really only in adoption and deploy daemon. We don't even have it in Bootstrap. I think the only thing we do in Bootstrap is we open the port for the dashboard. That's it. You don't touch anything else as far as I can tell.
I see adopt, bootstrap, and deploy. Just for the
Yeah, it's mostly deploy and adoption that actually have it, which this flag was for. I think it was for Bootstrap. Oh no, it's in all of them. Yeah, I guess there's actually a point here is that we need to have it working for adoption and deploy. Those ones will actually attempt to update the firewall. The way it works in Bootstrap, it does almost nothing. I guess we could have it there as well. Yeah, I guess I was only looking at Bootstrap the whole time, but I guess yeah, deploy and or adopt and deploy. They do actually try. Yeah. In that case, do we want to just, like Mike was saying, just put it back in that it make sure that adopt and deploy don't use it? Even though it is, well, I guess for adopt to make, I don't know who's manually calling deploy. I've run into that, but
hopefully nobody. Hopefully that's just from the orchestrator manager separate. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think we use it in the orchestrator.
Did I get you right that at the beginning of the call you said you don't know why this was removed from deploy?
I think it was why it was removed from Bootstrap. Like
I'm sorry, I said the wrong word.
I think we used to do a bit more with the ports, but we don't really do much with it. We only open the dashboard port right now, Bootstrap. So it's very, very minimal actual port management there. But like say like there's a ton of different ports you kind of want to be open for a Ceph cluster, but we don't actually try to open any of those. We just
Right.
open the dashboard port. But to be fair, even then, they would only do it for the Bootstrap host, so it's, like, you still have to do this for all your other hosts manually anyway. There's not much we can do about those from Bootstrap.
I
I
think
like
this
the,
is just an accidental regression in TR 35901 from Sebastian. I think it's pretty simple to fix.
yeah, I think we could just at least for adopt and deploy, we can just put the flag back in, or not put it back in, but use it properly.
Any reason not Bootstrap as well?
Um, I guess we could there. It doesn't even use the same function. It doesn't call that update
I see.
firewall, whatever. It just sort of manually does the action of that. If anything, it should probably just change so it calls it. It like manually defines which port it's going to change and things, whereas the other ones just do it by daemon type. But yeah, I guess it should be done there too. We just have to specifically check it there instead of doing it in that one function. All right. Yeah, it would be super easy to put it back in. And I don't know if this guy, I'm assuming he must have some reason he ran into this.
That's the feeling I get when I read the tracker. He's asking for us to bring this functionality back.
Right. I wonder if he was trying to adopt or something. And that's where he hit it. I'm trying to think of what case, because Bootstrap it wouldn't really matter too much. Maybe it would fail at the very end, putting the dashboard port. But most of the things would still work at that point. That's like the last thing we do. And I don't think you'd be manually calling deploy, so I think it would have to be adoption.
Yep.
All right. Does that work with people? Are we just okay with just not doing the small amount of firewall stuff we still do if the flag is set?
Yeah, I guess if it is as he Mike is saying, yeah, sure. I don't. Again, I think my original speech was assuming that it was removed intentionally.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that we removed some of it. Because I know this got removed a very long time ago. So, or this PR this refactor one, at least this happened like 2 years ago, almost. I don't remember it all super well. But it does seem like we're still doing a little bit of port management, basically only for the adoption and deploy commands. And then there's one port for the Bootstrap. So it would be easy enough to just not do that if this flag is set. For whatever reason, people want it that way.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so if it is regression, the only thing I would add is probably should have had regression tests.
Yeah, we can have one that checks or runs update firewall or something. Make sure it doesn't do anything. A unit test, we do that. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll update the other that stuff. That was also the only topic I had part of this. There was kind of a slow week, I guess, upstream. But does anyone have anything else you want to talk about here? Before we call it? I'm also fine with
Maybe
ending
just to highlight that we are starting to work in this feature request from Paul, Adam, this one, monitoring stuff.
Do you want to talk about it a little bit? Explain what's going on so far?
Yeah, at least got to make sure everybody is aware of it.
This is the one, this is the external Prometheus support, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have anything specifically you want to talk about, any implementation details so far?
So as for the implementation, the idea is to add this new endpoints in the agent.
Or typically the Cherry Pie server the agent makes use of FADM.
Yeah. So this PR basically is feature request to add endpoints in the Ceph ADM to report different configuration for the services we are already deploying, such as I think Alert Manager, Node Exporter, HA Proxy. So right now we are generating this configuration statically in the monitoring, and we use it to deploy our Prometheus. So this PR asks for us to add support to report this configuration through different endpoints and use a new feature in Prometheus in order to consume these endpoints and get this configuration dynamically. This way we can have the same configuration used by Ceph ADM being used by some external Prometheus server. I guess that, Adam, so once we added this support, then we have to modify the monitoring class in order to generate a new configuration file for Prometheus. Instead of using static information, it just uses this new endpoints to get the configuration.
Yeah, I think it was specifically the scrape configuration we need because StephADM is the one who knows that, which places the previous team has to scrape. So we at least have to give them that so they knows where to look. They can't tell on their own.
Yeah. So basically, I've already started working on this. Once I have something to share to review, I will create the pull request for it.
Right. Yeah, I guess this might be something that comes up again, like next week or 2 weeks from now. We end up running into some implementation difficulties. But I think now I guess maybe it's a bit too early on to have any specific questions.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all good. Does anyone have any other topics? Or are we good for today?
I don't know if there's a topic. It kind of came up in downstream earlier today. So I've been looking at some general manager stuff, and I noticed there's the manager module py in the root of pipeline manager. It's kind of big. It's kind of huge actually. And I had a thought like, oh, turn this into a directory, and then I'm like, wait, this is getting close to the part where the Python and the C++ interact. Who is if I don't have to change anything right now, but I'm more curious, like if we had to change something around that area where the layers of the Python and C++ parts come together, do we have good resources to ask questions of in like the C++ land?
I think Kefir did a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
Far as I remember, I asked Juanmi for the C++ part, and he told me basically the guy who did this part is no longer in the company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kefir, who left a while back, did a lot
I
of it.
think he's semi-active upstream though. I've seen some stuff from him even recently.
He is active upstream sometimes, but he doesn't officially work on it anymore.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. It's like sort of like up in the air whether you get anything from him. Have to see.
All right, it's something though. I don't need to make any changes at the current time. It's just more like, hey, if I had to, what would I do?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a general gap we've had right now is just C++ code, the manager side in general.
Yeah.
Including the PyBind stuff.
Right.
We don't really have anybody officially maintaining all that.
Yeah, if it was C, I could probably help a little more, but it's become C++. C++ is a little bit like I think I last touched it in anger in college. So
The last time I touched C++ was like 6 years ago. I don't
okay,
remember the syntax.
it sounds like for downstream resources, not really, but there should be some community resources. They just might not be immediately responsive.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the Ceph project. There's plenty of people who are good at C++ as well. If you convince any of them
Right.
to help you, they just might not be familiar with that specific part of the code. And I think probably Kevu maybe know. Maybe get him to say something about it.
Okay, that answers my question.
All right. Nope, there's nothing else. End here. See you all next week.